my friends, and welcome to DISNEY Dreamlight Valley. Today is my turn to rant. I've watched two videos that were posted recently by Oscar's Cozy Corner and Tanny Games with addressing the issues with the premium shop and other issues with decline of quality of DISNEY Dreamlight Valley. I highly recommend you watching these videos. I agree with majority of their points, and I hope that it will make a difference if Gameloft sees it, that the community is not very happy with some of the directions that the game has been taking lately. I think it's important to talk about topics like this. In my video, though, I'm gonna address completely different issue, and it might seem like it's smaller issue than the other issues that people are discussing. I just don't want to make another repetitive video discussing the same thing over and over, so I want to talk about something completely different, which is, in my opinion, is one of the biggest issues, besides the ones discussed in other creators' videos, that DISNEY Dreamlight Valley currently has. And this latest event made me realize that this is completely unacceptable and needs to change as soon as possible. And the issue is, it feels like Gameloft is punishing players for decorating their valleys. And I think it's a big issue. I think it's a big issue that maybe doesn't get talked about a lot, even though I see a lot of posts on Reddit, on Discord, on the portal, everywhere in the comments of people complaining about this issue from different angles. So I just wanted to make this video to talk about it, to discuss how the situation can be improved, and how big of a deal it actually is. And obviously the first thing that comes to mind is moonstone chests. It is incredibly difficult to find a moonstone chest in your valley if you have a fully decorated valley. Even if you don't have a fully decorated valley, but just have some decorated areas, sometimes that moonstone chest will spawn in some ridiculous spots which are nearly impossible to find. And the way moonstone chests work, you can have up to 3, but you need to find the first one in order for the next ones to spawn. So if you haven't logged in for 3 days, you're going to have 3 blue chests sitting in a queue ready to spawn in your valley. Once you log in, you're going to get 1, and you will not get the other 2 until you find that 1. So if that 1 chest spawned in some ridiculous spot that is nearly impossible to find, if you have fully decorated biome, for example, and you had the chest spawn in a crazy area, you're basically going to be locked out of free moonstones until you either spend ridiculous amount of time moving stuff around and trying to find the chest, or as most people do, they just give up. I've seen so many comments, people saying, I have not seen a moonstone chest for weeks, for months even, and this is just not acceptable. I've been in a similar situation. I haven't gotten a single blue chest for many weeks because I couldn't find the chest. So I made a post recently on the portal where I finally managed to find the chest. Look at this spawn area. It spawned behind all of my buildings. It spawned literally under the tree. This was not possible to see by just glancing over my valley. It's not possible to see walking around. It's barely possible to see when you are in the furniture mode. So I literally spent about an hour literally just glancing over my map in the furniture mode, trying to look under every bush, under every tree, in every single possible crevice. And it's just not fun. Nobody wants to do that. It's not a fun gameplay. And I was lucky to find it. It took me weeks. I checked the spot many times. It's dark in Forgotten Lands. This area is, like, the chest kind of blends in with the environment here. Here is another chest that I found also in Forgotten Lands. Behind, literally found the only tiny little spot where it could spawn. And it spawned there once again. It was only visible from a very specific angle. So if you're just glancing over in the furniture mode, you would not see it unless your camera was angled in exactly this way. And I finally found it. And after that, I've been actually getting regular blue chests. Sometimes they will spawn in open areas, sometimes they won't. But this experience is experience of hundreds, if not thousands of players who are struggling daily to find their blue chests. And blue chests are a very much needed source of moonstones because the premium shop is getting out of control. And dream snaps are as random as always. So getting 50 moonstones a day now is more important than ever. And with so many things to do in Disney Dreamlight Valley, looking for blue chests for hours is just not something that players should be doing. Okay, blue chest is one thing. What about the latest Christmas event? Touch of Magic gift boxes. I've looked everywhere and even moved everything. I cannot find any box with the Touch of Magic gift boxes. Has anybody had this issue? Yes, now that you mention it. I have seen a huge amount of comments saying the same thing. Some people find their chests no problem. Some people haven't seen one since day one. Some people haven't seen one at all. And turns out that Gameloft made it so the chest can spawn anywhere in the valley. So with paper that could actually be picked up with a vacuum, it spawns near the Scrooge shop, making it fairly easy to find. But for the new gift box, it can spawn anywhere in the valley, and apparently it can stack up to 3 as well. But there is the same issue as with moonstone chests. If you don't find your first one, the next one is not going to spawn. Meaning that if the first one or one of the boxes spawned in a very inaccessible area where it's impossible to find, you're just not going to be able to even get all of them. I'm in this position right now. I have spent 40 minutes yesterday and another 40 minutes today trying to find a gift box. Technically, I should have had 2 today, but I'm pretty sure the second one will probably spawn after I find the first one. I just do not have that box in my valley. I looked everywhere. I ran around my valley twice, looking under everything. I went into furniture mode, glanced over the entire thing twice. After looked under every nook and cranny, there is just no gift box. But I'm pretty sure it's there. I know it's there. It's green, and my whole valley is green. I have a lot of green areas. The grass is green, so it's going to be very difficult to spot it. It's even worse than spotting moonstone chest in the Forgotten Lands. Like, who thought that spawning in the entire valley was going to be a good idea? Why not limit it to a specific biome, or as just like with the wrapping paper, close to some building, close to the Dreamlight Castle, close to the Scrooge shop, whatever. Why make it a crazy, uncomfortable chase for people who have decorated valleys to find the gift box? I just realized there is a spot right here where potentially something could spawn, and I would never find it. And this is not the first time they did it. We had multiple events in the past with the same problem. We had the pink crack event, if you remember, which was an absolute disaster because it was impossible to find those pink cracks. There's up to 3 of them could spawn in the game, and they looked even like they were even more difficult to find in these gift boxes because it was a tiny little crack in the ground. If it spawned anywhere between the bushes, it could spawn on the paths. It could spawn... No, not on the path. It could spawn on the carpets, and I couldn't find... Like, I literally had only one. The other 2 I could never find until I tore apart my valley, and I could swear that some of those paint cracks spawned inside items, like literally under certain items, because I could swear it wasn't there, but then when I took all the items away from my biome, I could actually find my pink cracks. So it's ridiculous. It's absolutely not fun. There is nothing fun about that kind of an event where you need to spend an hour every day just pointlessly gliding over your valley just to find one item. It's just bad design. And now I feel like I'm just not going to get any of the new Touch of Magic gift boxes, which I was extremely excited about. I really wanted to get those small gifts so I could use them in my shots to trap villagers. I thought it was an absolute game changer, but now I'm just not going to be able to get any of that because there is literally no gift box in my valley. But knowing my previous experiences, if I were to tear down my valley right now, I would find it. I would absolutely probably find it. And I'm just not willing to do this because I've spent hundreds of hours decorating my valley. And so did a lot of other people. If you have 3,000 items placed, 6,000 items placed, if you spend time on your valley, you feel like you're being punished for it. Because if your valley is empty, when my valley was empty, it was so easy to find all of the things. But once I started decorating, I started experiencing these struggles where I literally cannot find anything. The only salvation is that most events you can use vacuum to gather things that you need to find. If we didn't have vacuums, this game would be literally unplayable. If somebody doesn't have Ancient the Eternity Isle DLC and have their valley decorated, every single event is incredible pain. And it should not be that way. Alright, enough complaining. Let's talk about how do we fix it. I have a couple ideas of how Gameloft can change certain things to make this much less of an issue and make events and blue chests even actually more enjoyable. Number one, and the best idea would be to give us a tool, something like a whole new tool, or maybe, I don't know, maybe some kind of a mechanism where we could press a button and get a trail, or something like a time bending when you just it kind of shows you the direction of where the items are. So if there's any event item or blue chest, I feel like the tool can work for anything that spawns in your valley that you didn't place. That is not like an obstacle or a piece of wood. Like if it's a chest, if it's a event item, if it spawns somewhere in your valley, you should be able to do this and just follow the tool to find the item. That would be, in my opinion, the most convenient thing, because it wouldn't be too OP. Like another option would be to just go on the map and be able to see your blue chests. For example, when we have toggle filters, here should be a filter for like event items and blue chests. That would be maybe a little bit too easy if you can just see exactly where they are and go get them. At least if we have a tool, there is still a little bit of a gameplay, a little bit of a struggle to figure out and use the tool to lead you towards those items. I feel like that would be the best compromise between making it too easy and making it too difficult. At least it's going to save us frustration, and we'll be able to know exactly where the things are and get to them, and then we know where to look. That's number one. Number two, once again, just highlight them on the map. That would be a little bit maybe too simple, too easy, and kind of take away the scavenger hunt part of discovering moonstone chests and event items, but at least it's gonna take away a lot of frustration. Number three, what they can do is to at least highlight the biome. If stuff, for example, during the event, if something spawned in a specific biome, they should show on the map, they should highlight it. For example, right now we have this gift event. What they can do is to make an outline for a biome. For example, since the color of event may be green, make a green outline around the biome to indicate that the item for this event has spawned in this biome right now. Same with blue chests, moonstone chests. You can have a blue outline for the biome where the chests have spawned, or at least have like a outline maybe around the well, or just some kind of a check mark that indicates not the exact location, but the biome where the item you might be looking for is. I feel like that would also make it still quite a scavenger hunt, because you still have to look over the entire biome to find it, but at least it narrows down the area to look for from 8 biomes to 1, which would make the frustration much easier as well. If not a tool, we could at least have a companion maybe that could potentially lead us towards things like blue chests. Maybe they introduce a companion that is good at finding hidden items. It would just try to wander off towards the items and you have to follow them to find it. That would be even better than a tool, actually. Or another solution would be to just spawn all of blue chests in one biome. All the event items in one biome. Doesn't have to be Plaza. Maybe they could choose a random biome. But, for example, have a schedule for the blue chest. Every day of the week it spawns in a different biome. So you can go into your settings somewhere and look up. So today is Wednesday, which means the blue chest is in Meadow. So I can know for a fact that if I want my today's blue chest, I go and look for it in a Meadow. Same for the events. They could make it that in the rules of the event, it will tell you exactly which biome the things would spawn on a specific day. Like a dry flowers, you actually get night thorns or dried flowers spawn every day only in specific biome. So that makes it easier to find all the dried flowers if you find one. And if we knew exactly which biome today is in play, it would make us easier to find. We know the gift is going to be in that biome. We know moonstone chest is going to be in that biome. The pink crack is going to spawn exclusively in that biome this day. I don't know. I feel like there are so many ways they can improve this. It's not right to punish players for literally doing what the game is intended to do, to decorate your valleys. They give us all these tools. They give us all these items. We literally spend moonstones to buy some of the most beautiful items so we can decorate our valleys, then just to feel like it's just not worth it because you get punished. And don't even let me start it on the fact that there is constantly stuff spawning around my valley and ruining it. That's a whole separate video. I feel like I've talked about that enough. Today I just wanted to talk about ridiculous events that are frustrating a lot of people and locking a lot of people out from completing those events, especially people who actually are very active and spend lots of time decorating their valley, literally doing what this game is meant for, and fulfilling the main purpose of getting all the items just to feel like, I wish I didn't do that because now I cannot participate in events or find my moonstones. Anyway, enough of event today. Let me know in the comments what do you think, and what do you think is the biggest issue in Disney Dreamlight Valley right now. If it's not this one, then if there was one thing, if you had a power to make Gameloft fix one thing in the game in the next update, what thing would that be? For me personally, even though this is a huge issue, I still find a bigger issue just be able to turn off spawnables. That's like my #1 feature right now. But this one would be probably second because I'm not going to get touch of magic gifts now, and I have to be okay with this. I have to basically be okay with not participating in this event because I decided to decorate my valley. Sad stuff. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more, and take care.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Woohoo!
Amazing. Gotta tell you, it is really beautiful here. Hey, nice to see you.
Oh,